time of silver rain, the earth was forth for life again. Green grasses grow, and flowers lift their heads, and over all the plains.
We have now a special milestone, a moment of transition to honor together. Two of our youth who have grown up in this church as we recognize and celebrate the high school graduation of Alex Shiloh and Jackson Gatlin. Alex, all right, come on up. Alex and Jackson, you will cross a threshold as you walk across that stage to receive your high school diplomas. And as you now get ready to move from high school to college, you begin the journey of young adulthood. During your time here at UUCGL, you have grown up. You have practiced discerning and identifying the values you hold as sacred and learned to act based on these values.
We, your faith community, trust you and want to offer our blessings as you travel forward in life from this safe harbor into the vast ocean of life.
You have given and received many gifts within this special community. Take these gifts with you, and may you easily find and create community such as this wherever life takes you, where you can continue to learn and grow with each other, to be challenged and challenge others, to be your best selves, to remember and remind others about what is most important and precious in this life, to support one another, and to work together to make the world a better place.
As you step forward into this new chapter, we hope and know that you will have the courage to not only think, but to speak and act in alignment with your conscience and inner knowing, to help those in need, to resist injustice, and to carry with you in all your endeavors the love and wisdom from your years here in this congregation. And when I look at you, I see these little squirts that I knew when you started here. We send you forth now with these blessings, knowing that you will bring the heart of Unitarian Universalism with you.
Alex and Jackson, we are very proud of you, and we are pleased to present you with our heartfelt congratulations, a symbolic gift. It is a small token of our affection and care for you, and goes with our blessings today.
May love carry you forward, and may you carry love forward. Congratulations, honey. So proud of you. Congratulations, sweetie. When they were both younger kids, we had a customary song that we would sing the children out. Do you remember? It's getting a laugh. I love it. And it's really easy. It just goes, go now in peace, go now in peace. It's actually 4:13. And when you were really little, sometimes the adults would hold their arms up in like a little blessing arch. So we can all do that by just holding our arms like in a blessing, because the kids used to be like, oh, geez, I got to go under the blessing arch. So we will sing you out, and you will always be welcome back, of course. You're not really leaving, you're just transforming. So go now in peace with our love. Let's rise for them. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you. I want to tell you a little bit about Dr. Norbert Čapek. He's the founder of what we celebrate as the flower communion or ceremony. He was born in Czechoslovakia to a Catholic family in 1870. He later became a Baptist, But since Protestantism was very suspect in his region, he came to the United States, where his religious beliefs continued to evolve, and eventually he became a Unitarian. He joined our UU congregation in Orange, New Jersey. After World War I, the Service Committee, the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee, which, by the way, is the organization that had somebody design a chalice. This was actually a symbol that was shown in the window of buildings to signal to refugees after World War II that they could find help and support within. So I just thought I'd mention that. After World War I, the UU Service Committee sent Dr. Čapek back to Czechoslovakia as a missionary. We don't usually think about Unitarian Universalists as being missionaries, but it was to reach out with this free religious tradition to Czechoslovakia, and it was brand new to Czechoslovakia. In the beginning, Dr. Čapek rented a concert hall in which to meet, and finally, eventually the group built their own building. It was named Unitaria. The services were very simple. People came from a real variety of religious backgrounds, and they didn't want to be reminded of their old churches in many cases. So Dr. Čapek didn't wear a robe. There was no singing of hymns. Hate that. There were no prayers. There was readings and discourses. And instead of the collection plate, the members made offerings as they entered. Dr. Čapek felt that the church needed a ritual that would symbolize the community being bound together and in which everyone could participate without any sense of religious, trauma. So nothing that would remind them of religious traditions they had left. And so he designed the flower communion. And on the last Sunday before summer vacation, in 1923 was the first one, each person would bring a flower to the service and choose a different one to take home. They were meant to choose without discrimination, not necessarily figuring out which one was the prettiest or the most appealing to them. And this was a gesture of acceptance and appreciation of diversity and difference. The flowers symbolized each member as a unique individual, choosing freely to join with the others, sharing their presence and their gifts. And the exchanging of flowers symbolized the benefits of this kind of spiritual fellowship. That's why we don't create a beautiful, perfect bouquet, because this is more like the way we are. Just a little natural and little jumbled up, and not everything is all manicured and perfect. The flower ceremony or festival or communion has become perhaps the most widely celebrated ritual in UU congregations and lasts to this day, still is. Every spring, most of our congregations and fellowships devote a Sunday to this festive participatory service. I'll share with you Norbert Čapek's prayer that he wrote for the flower communion. In the name of Providence, which implants in the seed the future of the tree, and in human hearts the longing to live in love, in the name of the highest in whom we move and who makes all the relations what they are, in the name of the sages and great religious leaders who sacrificed their lives to hasten the coming of peace and justice, let us renew our resolution sincerely to be real relatives, regardless of any kind of bar which estranges us from each other. In this holy resolution, may we be strengthened, knowing that we are God's family, that one Spirit, the Spirit of love, unites us, and may we endeavor for a more perfect and more joyful life. Amen.
Amen.
our congregations for a long time. I remember doing it as a little kid at the UU Church in Westport where I grew up. It's always meant a lot to me. Even as a child, I could understand what it was really symbolizing. Norbert Chopek was a resistor. And I have to tell you that he was imprisoned for his non-compliance with the Nazis. And I have to tell you that he died in prison. And that before he did, he was still ministering to people and is remembered for that. I insist that his death not be the last word, as he and many other nonconformists, resistors, have handed to us the values by which they lived with such courage and integrity, and it is ours to carry on in that spirit, as Jackson and Alex will, as they go forth into their, I'm being told I'm not on. Okay. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Mike. As our graduates will go forth and bring those values with them, and as we bring them everywhere we are. We gave our graduating seniors a book as a gift. It's called Originals, and it speaks very highly of the qualities of nonconformity, a big part of which is creativity. And one of the arguments made in the books that I particularly love, it says, hire theater majors, hire theater kids. They know how to work to a deadline. They know how to work as a team. They're creative. They can think on their feet. Well, of course, I loved that. But this creativity is the essence of liberal religion. Thinking, curiosity, questioning, whose adherents have historically been called heretics, sometimes called dissenters, sometimes called nonconforming. The foundation is the desire to remain interested in possibility and not holding on to the past or what was thought to be the truth in the past, but ever facing forward, ever open to new knowledge, and wondering not only what could be, but considering what must be. All the while, we humbly accept that any one of us may not be able to see what must be, what needs to be, and this is why we take mutual counsel, listen to all ages, include multiple perspectives from a beautiful variety of people, training ourselves along the way to hold a spirit of reverence for diversity. Look at the flowers. Diversity is the natural order of things, or perhaps disorder, and that's not a bad thing. I did not know until this year about the way that Dr. Chopek invited those participating in the flower ceremony to take a flower without determining first whether they personally liked it or thought it was the most beautiful or their favorite. A colleague of mine told me that this year. She informed me about that detail, and I just loved that. We choose a flower to pay attention to at home, to take with us and pay attention to reflect on, not because we personally find it to be the best one, but because to do this, to just sort of indiscriminately accept one, it represents the kind of appreciation and consideration that we're meant to give each other. I have a little garden out in front of my house, a little garden plot along the sidewalk, and there are a lot of perennials in it that I planted over the years, columbine and rosemary and coneflower, and some surprises that I always forget are there, and a nice azalea bush and a rhododendron that my cousins gave me that's filled out quite nicely. But there's this one rose bush that I planted, I don't even know, it has to be 9-10 years ago. It never, ever, ever puts out a bud. Never. People say, oh, this isn't a good year for roses. No, it's never a good year for this rosebud. It gets all leafy and it grows like crazy, but zero blooms. So last spring I had a talk with it. And I said, look, you clearly like being here. But I've fertilized and pruned you. I've given you coffee grounds, which is a mess. And this is a nice sunny spot. And if you don't do some blooming, you're getting dug up. And I'm not really sure what will happen after that. So after that talk, the rose bush put out one blossom, one bud. Little red, bright, dark pink, red rose, one. It was either making a huge effort or it was mocking me. I don't have any way of knowing. So this winter, as we were moving into spring, I talked to it again and I said, look, that was cute. That was nice and everything. But rose bushes aren't supposed to just give nothing but green. I'll give you one more season. Well, I've realized that I have a nonconformist rose bush in my garden, a dissenter, a resistor. I have decided that she is a metaphor, an object lesson for me. And I will continue to fertilize, water, prune, and treat her to coffee grounds whether or not she fulfills my expectations of what a rose bush should be. She is rooted. She has a home there, and she is welcome to stay. She is beautiful the way she is, even with her thorns. I would not want any less for myself, for any of you, or for any of our neighbors. God bless the originals. I invite you to read with me responsively this flower ceremony reading. Flowers unfold slowly and gently, bit by bit in the sun. Our work is to be gardeners of souls wherever we are.
Everywhere seeds are beginning to germinate. Let us tend them with greatest care. They are very tender and delicate.
Let us water them with love. I'd like to ask if Doreen, would you bring the flower baskets forward to the pulpit table? Please choose a flower to take with you. Put it somewhere where you can see it and meditate on its image, fixing it in your mind with all the sentiments expressed here today, in solidarity with all those, past, present, and future, who express love through active engagement with freedom, who live life from the soul. And when the flower fades, as all flowers do, please return it to the earth with your blessings and hold its image in your mind to return to when you need to return to who you are and what you most deeply cherish. Love will guide us through the hard night. Chris came in and said, should we include this one? Of course we should. As we go forth, let us remember that in the words of Norbert Chapek, every person is an embodiment of God, and in every one of us, God struggles for higher expression. Make way for that divine expression, friends. Leave room for it. Respect its reality within yourself and others. And in doing so, let us be and receive blessings of beauty, peace, and love. Let the people say, Amen. Go in peace.